In this video, I'm going to explain why I never focus on suggested traffic, plus I'm going to explain why this approach could be right for you.
YouTube Simplified.
Hi and welcome to Creator Fundamentals. My name is Dan Courier and it is my mission to simplify YouTube so you and I can grow together. It's a very popular opinion that suggested traffic is the way to go. Obviously, we can't deny the power of suggested traffic because we've seen video after video that simply explode when they get into suggested traffic, aka go viral. So there's a lot of value there, but I am going to explain why I don't worry about that and why you might want to consider this approach. All right, so as I mentioned, there is no denying the power of suggested video, but what I see over and over again are people who try to target suggested video and fail miserably. And that does a couple things to a creator. Before I dive into that, I just want you to consider why most creators give up and walk away. It's usually frustration because they're not seeing any progress. Getting into the habit of small victories can really help your self-esteem and keep you moving forward towards your desired goals. Now, I know I'll be the first person to tell you that YouTube is a long game, but it's nice to see little milestones being achieved that help push you on to the next bigger and better goal. And the biggest problem I see with targeting suggested is so many people try and very rarely do they get their videos into suggested traffic to the point where they really change the complexion of their YouTube channel. Now, I will say there's some specific topics or niche where suggested is a much better play than for other channels, but for my channel, a channel that focuses on educational content, and if you focus on educational or how-to type content that people might be searching for, it may not be the best way to go. And I may get a lot of hate for this. A lot of people will just say that it's not even worth it to focus on search traffic, but I couldn't disagree more. In fact, I went out to one of those channels that promotes suggested as the best way to grow your channel, and I compared our last videos. In fact, I looked at our last 10 videos to see exactly how they compared and which one of us was making better progress. The results were actually surprising. On a channel that had 10 times more subscribers than I did, our views on the last 10 videos were almost identical. Now here's where it gets even better for my channel. Focusing on searchable traffic, my videos tend to grow in daily volume over time. Suggested videos will typically shoot up in the air, you'll get a lot of response from them, and then they'll die out and go away forever. Now, there are some exceptions. I have some educational content that has gotten into suggested. In fact, my channel changed based on a video that was picked up and suggested and grew it significantly. The problem is trying to reproduce that effect is very difficult. All right, so for some channels, hitting a suggested video that really pops and goes viral within your niche is akin to catching lightning in a bottle. Now, I don't know about you, but I would much prefer come up with something where I can consistently get traffic versus heading outside and trying to catch some more lightning. And you know, the funny thing is, if you're focusing on search traffic, that doesn't mean that a given video can't get picked up and suggested anyway. And I've had conversations about this. They'll argue that suggested traffic is the way to go and that there is a specific way to target. Yet, I see a lot of those people making that claim who aren't getting their videos into heavy suggested traffic rotation. And it's not because they're misleading anybody, it's just not that easy. If I can put out video after video that ranks on the first page of search and builds momentum as people continue to search for it, then I'm basically creating a snowball effect that helps my channel grow over time. In fact, if you're not doing how-to content now, but you're working in a niche that may lend itself to how-to content, say you're doing a gaming channel, I would try to include some how-to type videos that can really help get attention for your channel and brand and bring in that traffic. That's going to help your channel as a whole. And hey, maybe every once in a while you'll get one of those suggested videos. But hey, we want to see success. We want to see incremental improvements over time, and having a healthy dose of searchable content can really help us see that progress. Now, the one caveat to this, if you are in a niche that is heavily focused on newsworthy type content, there are a lot of opportunities to jump on those news topics. Any content that you're doing that always has some high-level news interest, you definitely want to jump on those, and a lot of times those may get into suggested, and those can really help your channel, whereas that's not something that you're going to try to optimize for search. But unless you're seeing daily newsworthy content for your given niche, I would try to focus on growing your channel through searchable content, and hey, maybe every once in a while one will hit suggested. And the one thing I'll say about suggested, a lot of people will come out and they talk about suggested for 20 minutes and never really give you any idea about how to get there. And I don't want to send you down the path of searchable content with completely dismissing suggested, so I'll give you a little bit of idea about what actually works in getting your videos into suggested. Alright, so the first thing, obviously, your video really has to resonate with people right when it is released. So people catching it in browse and notifications, all of those people really have to jump into your content and start engaging with it and get in there fast. And you usually see that type of reaction when your video evokes some type of emotion from the audience. And to that end, when a hot topic does arise, you want to do your best to get a video out as quickly as possible, because being the first to market, so to speak, on a hot topic can really propel that video into suggested and really blow up your channel. Back to the whole topic of focusing on searchable content. It allows you to see progress. I can't tell you how many channels I've seen where they're literally releasing video after video that have like 3 views, 5 views, 2 views. And that is enough to get you to want to quit. If you focus on keyword phrases that people are actually looking for, and you can make that searchable content, if you're in gaming, for example, rather than just sitting there and recording yourself gaming for 8 hours, focus on something, some type of value that you can deliver to your audience, help answer a question, show them how the gameplay works, give them a specific return for them watching the video and not just sitting there watching you play a game for hours. At the end of the day, there is no right or wrong answer here. My preference on searchable traffic is based on the mental side of YouTube and the idea that small victories will help propel you towards bigger goals. The right answer could in fact fall somewhere in between these, where if you have an opportunity to do searchable content, I would focus on trying to include a healthy dose of that into your content strategy, plus try to look for opportunities to target suggested on newsworthy type events. By including a mix of both searchable content and videos where you're trying to get picked up in suggested, it's going to allow you for a healthy channel that is gradually growing, plus allows you to swing for the fences every once in a while and get one of those home runs that can really change the complexion of your entire YouTube channel. But hey, I really want to know your content strategy. Are you focused on doing keyword research and coming up with titles that can actually be found in search? Or are you focusing on the more popular suggested video approach, and have you had success with that? Definitely let me know in the comments below. I'd love to know your experience and what you think about these two approaches. And hey, don't forget, this video is sponsored by TubeBuddy. TubeBuddy is the #1 browser plugin for managing and growing your YouTube channel. It's available to download for free, and there's a link in the description below. I hope you found this video helpful. My name is Dan Courier, and you're watching Creator Fundamentals. Thank you.